Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. As you may know, I just got back from the Sim Gaming Expo in Chicago, and what an event that was. I have to give a huge shout out to George for the organization, for making this happen. George, congratulations and thank you so much, because this was the first event of its kind in the US, and I have to say it surpassed all of my expectations. It was a blast. I was pleasantly surprised with how many exhibitors there were and how many spectators there were as well. It was really an amazing event and the organization was spot on. And I also want to say thank you to the community. If you were there and you stopped me to say hi or take a picture, thank you so much. That made this event just so special for me. It was an unforgettable experience, and I really appreciate all the support that I've been given. As you know, I haven't been doing this for that long, so it was just surreal for me to be there and have people recognize me. And if you did, really, again, thank you. That was just amazing. And I also want to thank RSS Ready Set Sim, because this wouldn't have been possible for me without them. As you know, I am an ambassador and they supported me for this event. So huge shout out to them. If you don't know Ready Set Sim, make sure that you check their website in the link below. But back to the Sim Gaming Expo, as I mentioned, many manufacturers came and released some of their newest products at the expo, which was absolutely incredible. I was lucky enough to be part of the Simucube private event the night before the official release of the Co-Pedal. I also was able to talk to a lot of the owners of these big companies such as Heusinkveld, GSI, and also SimLab. So in this video, I'll show you 5 releases from the Sim Gaming Expo, and I will be starting with Heusinkveld, because we all know them for their pedals. They're incredible products, but I think everyone was pretty surprised that they came up with a brand new steering wheel, and I was able to talk to one of the owners, Sven. So let's take a look at what he had to say about the Heusinkveld One. Hey guys, I'm here with Sven, one of the owners of Heusinkveld. Can you tell us a little bit about the wheel, the features, kind of what's the thinking behind it?
Sure. Well, this is Heusinkveld. It's the first wheel called Heusinkveld One. And typically if we develop new products, we're trying to do something different. So with this wheel, what was very important for us to make it as light as possible. It only weighs 1,024 grams. And the advantage is with a light wheel, you have a much better feeling of the force feedback effects. So we constructed it from composite, not from aluminium. So it's a really lightweight and strong material. Something else which is very important for us is ergonomics and how it feels. It's very nice large handlebars, which really support the shape of your hands. And also while driving, you're able to access a lot of buttons. I mean, under my thumb, I have 5 buttons here. There's a rotary here, which you can push. You can reach this button as well. And it also has a function layer, so you can push an extra button, the light goes up, and every other button now gets a second function. So you're really able to race and keep your hands on the wheel at all times. Some other things, it's wireless, so it's compatible with pretty much every wheelbase out there. And the LEDs you see here, they're programmable, and they also go over the wireless connection. So we supply a dongle, and with SimHub you can access all the telemetry functions. Yeah, so that's about it. It's lightweight, it feels good in your hands, maximum button access, and we hope people like it.
Well, thanks a lot. I think the design is very different from what we usually see. What has been the feedback so far on how it looks?
So far, very positive. When people look at it at first, they think, hey, this does not look like a normal wheel which you would find in a race car. But we didn't want to make a normal wheel which looks like a normal race car wheel. And when people take it in their hands, they're like, oh, this works for us. This feels really good. So yeah, so far very good, and we hope it's going to do well and that people like it.
What about the pedal shifters?
They are magnetic shifters. We have 2 shifters here and also 2 clutch pedals. The shifters are magnetic. You can pull them, but you can also push them back. So you can assign double functions or separate functions, and yeah, you have extra functionality at the rear as well.
Nice. And in terms of the buttons, you say you can maybe put different settings on the buttons. So how many total?
For example, if I look at this button here, now it's a pit limiter. If I engage the function layer, you can assign a second function. And what's also in the software, you can assign different functions for a short press or a long press. So in total, for a single button, you can assign up to 4 outputs.
4, okay. Nice. What about the screen? Can you customize everything on there? Can you customize what you see, or?
Yeah, up to a certain degree. It's not an LCD screen, so it has RGB LEDs behind it. And if you use SimHub, you can assign these LEDs to function as an RPM counter, or for example, for a yellow flag alert, or you can get a light if DRS is enabled. So you really have a lot of flexibility to assign different functions to the lights here.
Okay, great. And what is going to be the price of this wheel? Can you tell me?
Yeah, in the United States, probably around $600. In Europe, it's going to be $599 inclusive VAT. And for the rest of the world, it's going to be €499 excluding VAT. But after exchange rates conversion, of course, yeah, tariffs, unfortunately, in the US, around $600 probably.
Can I hold it?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Wait, so what do you guys think of first the design? It's definitely different, but I think it's pretty cool. Actually, I like it. It has a kind of a aggressive look to it, but I think it's cool. I do like that the buttons are really close. Often the buttons are too far for me to reach, so this is actually really good. I like
Nice.
that it's very easy to access. The paddles have a nice feel to them. The handles, you said it's a composite material?
Well, yeah. The steering wheel is composite, but this is a different material, so it's a bit more grippy. So this and this, it looks the same, but it's not the same.
Okay, so it's like a rubber type of thing?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
It feels good. It's not sticky, but it feels like, yeah, it's not gonna slip too much. Is there anything else that you want to tell about this? Like, how long was it in the making?
As usual, too long. No, it's the first time we're doing a steering wheel also with new materials. So if you look at the pedals, it's lots of laser cut steel. This is completely different for us. So it took a bit of learning to do it, but we're very happy with the result. And yeah, let's see where this takes us from here.
Are you planning on making any more wheels after this one?
We hope so. It's probably not going to stay with one steering wheel, but everything takes time. So let's see how this one does, and let's see what we come up with, something new maybe afterwards.
Well, thanks a lot for talking to me. Amazing job on this. I can't wait to try it out. So
all right.
Thanks for the time.
Thanks for visiting us. We appreciate it.
And now, if you're a Porsche fan, you're going to absolutely love what I'm about to show you next. Hey guys, I'm here with VPG at the Sim Gaming Expo, and they have something super special that they're letting me review today. It's their brand new steering wheel, the Porsche Cup One. And here is the actual real version of it. This is the actual race car steering wheel, so you can see how it looks. It's absolutely amazing. As you know, I am a huge Porsche fan, so this is for me just a dream to even, hold this in my hands. I love this. It looks amazing, nice matte carbon fiber, but the real thing that we need to see is how close to the real thing is their new sim racing wheel. So let's take a look. Oh my gosh, dang. Look at this. It is a perfect replica of it. Oh my gosh, I love it. Wow. It is super light. Of course, as you guys know, I've reviewed the Mustang steering wheel before from VPG. I absolutely loved it when I tried it. It feels amazing, super light, super good quality. I even did a reel where I took it to the gym to test it out and make sure that it was very strong, and it passed with flying colors. So I have no doubt this one is going to be as strong as well, but it looks just incredible. Absolutely love it. And you can see here, this is basically the exact same as the real car. The only difference is here the funky switch, which of course for sim racing is super nice to have. And they've also made some very slight changes to the paddle shifters, and the reason is they made them less loud than the real one. So you can hear that's the real one, and that's the sim racing version. I think it's really nice that they made it a little bit quieter, because you don't want to be too loud in the house. So I absolutely love it. It feels super nice. The materials are exactly the same as the real wheel. Of course, it is made out of the same mold, same factory is making it, so you are basically getting the real thing for sim racing. Just incredible. In the rig, the VPG wheel was paired up to Simucube 2 Pro, and in a brief amount of time I had to test the wheel out. I fell in love. Alright, so trying this thing for the first time, it feels really good so far. The material is really nice. It feels similar to the Mustang that I had tried before. Steering wheels are probably one of the most subjective pieces of gear in sim racing, but when you get to drive one with this type of build quality, knowing that it's the real thing, it really pushes the immersion to the next level. The size is perfect, the grips were comfortable, the paddle shifter distance was spot on, and the force feedback was clear as ever thanks to how light it is. For $1,600 is no small investment, but you are absolutely getting what you pay for, especially if you're a Porsche fan. I seriously need one of these. I spoke with Manny from VPG to learn more about their brand new Porsche Cup steering wheel. Can you tell me a little bit more about the process to building this, kind of what is the thinking behind it, what's the true value of this thing?
So this is full carbon fiber, is autoclave laminated carbon fiber. It's made in the same facility where they made the real one. Same facility, same mold, same people that actually make the real steering wheel for the real car, make that one for the Sim. So one day they do this, the other day they do that, and it's quite cool. You get a put together by the same people as well. So with the same quality and the same attention to details, because that's what makes it special. And the other thing is probably the first time in history that the Sim wheel get revealed at the same time of the real car. Because usually they reveal the car, then it gets into the game, then we need to get to see it finally and then understand how it's made, and then it's like 2 years later you get it on the Sim. This time you get it on the Sim, and then the drivers will get the car in January 2026. So basically, these are production units. You got it before the drivers. Don't tell that to the drivers, but
That's pretty insane.
Yeah.
Super cool.
But yeah, and the other thing, obviously, because it's full carbon, it's quite light, as you can tell, and it's super strong, which means you're going to get a lot more force feedback and faster response, because obviously there is less inertia.
And you said it's 1 kilogram, right?
Yes,
That's
it
what
is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it feels really light. And in terms of the connection?
Yes, so on the back, what we did, we added an extra connection, a 4-pin connector, so you can connect it using the cable, the USB-C cable, to an Astra QR or any other QR that has got USB-C.
So what about the price then to get this thing?
Price is $1,600.
Okay.
It's all made in the UK, so there's tariffs on top of it, but it's minimum tariffs 10%.
It's not bad at all, I think, for what you're getting.
Oh, it's very well priced, let's put it this way. But the only thing that made us put it at that price point is because it's using the real car components. So all the R&D, what is expensive in carbon fiber is also the R&D, because then it's handcrafted, right? So understanding how to put together, laminate, that's quite time consuming. Like, we're talking about 100 hours, if not 1,000 hours. And so having that already done, because it's same one of the real car, made it possible at that price point. Otherwise it would have been like two times that. Probably more than $2,000, 100%.
Wow, that's amazing. Speaking of nice wheels, GSI had a great presence at the show and everyone got to have a first look at their recently revealed interlock system. I sat down with the company's founder, Jose Gomez, for an in-depth look at the Interlock Ultra. Hey guys, I'm here at the Sim Gaming Expo with Jose from GSI and we're here to talk about their newest product, the Interlock. So Jose, can you maybe introduce the product and maybe tell us what it's all about, some of the key features?
Sure. Yeah, so it's a product that kind of our customers have been asking for a long time, and we wanted to do something different in this space when it comes to this kind of interchangeable system. So this is our new product, the Interlock. We actually call it the Interlock System because it employs 3 kind of features that we feel are unique to it. The main feature is this kind of unique flag system that is an LED matrix. It's 5x8 or 5x7, excuse me. You have gear shifts, flags, warnings, car left, car right, all the vital information that you need. And it's unique because the front rim is interchangeable, and you could still use the LED matrix on round rims, on D-shaped rims, on all that stuff, because anything with the horn hole, this LED matrix will connect to the back module via pogo pins. So there's no wires, it's all contact from pogo pins from the front to the back. And it's got a lot of features for a module like this. 8 buttons at the top, 4 buttons at the bottom, 2 rotaries, 2 thumb rotaries, 2 multi-switches on the back. Also, it's got clutches, shifters. This is also a unique feature is we're coming out with a new pass-through QR, which provides power and data, right? And this USB-C on the back is unique for a steering wheel right now, is that it'll work with any pass-through QR without having to open the wheel and mess around with internal cabling or anything like that. So it'll just connect right to the QR through the USB-C. Another development that we came up with was We have dynamic power switching, so on the PCB, it'll intelligently know whether or not it's connected via USB-C or Lumberg, and be able to switch dynamically between the two and know which one would be the best. So, you know, for instance, if you have a pass-through QR, it dedicates all the data and power to the USB-C cable. If you have the Lumberg, it switches to the Lumberg, and so on and so forth. The community kind of has been asking for this for a while, and we feel the future is pass-through USB. You know, so basically, all our wheels are trending towards this this way of connecting via pass-through USB. It's not wireless. It's a direct connection that provides the power and data you need for screened wheels and so on and so forth. And then eventually, we feel in the future, this will be the primary connection method to all the bases. Another thing that's really cool about the wheel is these 1mm shift lights here. So there's also a slip, you know, for the ABS and that kind of stuff on this side, but it provides a full suite of RPM LEDs and warning LEDs on the side here, and they're very, very bright. So don't worry about not seeing them. They're definitely there. And it's a little bit of a, you know, it's a very unique feature design-wise. The design language is very GSI. Fitting 15 4x4 on a form factor like this is a little hard for some people, but doing it in this way makes it easy. Another thing is this is the first wheel that our new designer Massimo Cupido helped on, and he did the front face, I did the back, and so it's the first wheel in GSI's history that's designed by two people. So, but yeah, that's the Interlock, and you know, I would say next to the Hyper, it's been our most successful release. And I think that has a little bit to do with its price point. You know, the base module is around 500, and you know, you can get a full round rim for like 100, and I think it's 130 we're selling, and then you can get the LED matrix for the round rim for 85. So, you know, being that we are a premium high-end brand, our stuff tends to trend a little more expensive, so we were able to get the price in a reasonable place for people, and I think that's why it's been so successful. You know, even with the tariffs and whatnot, we were able to build it all around that. So
great. Well, thanks for that introduction. First, I want to say it looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I love the design of it, so great job.
yeah, thank you.
So a few questions. First, you mentioned, you know, of course, the screen and then the buttons. Is that all customizable, or is it?
Yeah, it's actually not a screen. It's a matrix of LEDs, and it's totally customizable. You can create your own animations. You can create your own flag animations. We were even joking around that we would like make a little version of Tetris on it, you know. But yeah, it's fully customizable. All the LEDs are customizable. All the buttons. The one thing with our wheels though is we try to make the buttons fairly universal because they're UV printed, right? The buttons, because stickers get messy over time. They melt, they shift, and it's kind of a little bit of a mess. And we wanted to have something a little bit more premium. But the design language, it's distinctly GSI. And you know, we introduced some different design vocabulary in this wheel, but I love the way it turned out, and it's the first wheel that's it's the beginning of our new generation of wheels. You know, with the new technology in there and better USB impedance, and just our understanding of how USB works in general with sim racing peripherals, because I think no one in this world is probably more experienced with trying to get USB to work flawlessly and seamlessly than sim racing industry, because we have like 100 devices and plugged into one hub, you know. So we've learned a lot, and you know, excited for the future.
So do you think that is your main differentiator against other brands? So there is, for example, Azatec or Simagic that came up with a similar, you know, type of product. What do you think is your main?
Yeah, I think our main differentiator from other brands, and I get this a lot from, you know, when people hold the wheel, it's almost like when you get, a lot of our competitors are very good, right? And then when you get to the upper crust of sim racing equipment, it's almost more about the intangibles, you know, than just what's visible. You know, the way the tactileness of the rotaries, the way the buttons feel, the sound that they make. You know, when every little detail counts. We feel that the wheel is the most romantic part of the rig. You know, it's the part that you kind of have the most emotional connection with. So we pour a lot into the details, the design, and the overall experience of the wheel. From the materials, like we don't use plastic. I think the only thing that's plastic on the wheel, or you can consider is the buttons. And if aluminum was see-through, we would probably have aluminum buttons, but we need LEDs, right? A lot of it comes down to design, durability, tactile feeling, and just making sure that it's gonna last for the long haul. Because you can buy something much cheaper that employs a lot of different, composites or plastics and stuff like that. But after a while, you kind of have this sense of like, yeah, it might be cheaper, but it's just, you start to get a little bit of regretful after a while. You're like, oh, I don't, it starts to get soft after a while. This stays rigid and solid for the life of its, expectancy.
Yeah, I think that's something that we've seen across the sim racing industry. Everything is getting so good nowadays. You can get a lot for cheaper, but it's more on really the quality of the materials, the durability, and that's where the difference is. So you might not see the difference, but you'll feel it when you go with the higher end products.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it goes beyond the wheel, right? It goes to the whole purchasing experience, the after purchase customer care. We pride ourselves in having like the best customer support in the industry, and I think if you go online, we take that reputation very seriously. So we really we're there for our customers even after you purchase it.
So what is the warranty on this thing?
For United States, it's the standard 1-year warranty. For Europe, it's the standard 2-year warranty, and like I like to say to most people, we try to help out everyone. If there's something, most of the time, say if someone drops the wheel, we've had someone, drop it and they break a part of it, we'll replace it at cost, just to cover it. But most of the times it's, simple things like, educating customers on how to use SimHub or how to get the best experience out of the wheel, because it is, at the end of the day, it's a complicated steering wheel. It's a complicated piece of equipment, and education and support is really important for us.
In terms of the design of the actual wheel, you have multiple options right now. You have some that are also of suede material, right?
Yeah. So this is called the Ultra, and this is our open top steering wheel design. We'll actually have a closed top of this version too, and the grips are interchangeable.
Okay.
So these grips they're bolted 2 points here and 2 points here, and you can see like on the back there's screws here that cover that, but it's interchangeable. And then also you can take this whole face off and put on a round rim, and we offer D-shaped rims in both 300 millimeter, 320. And then a full round rim in 320, and then both in perforated leather and also suede.
Yeah, no, it looks great, and I think the option, as you said, to change to whatever wheel you want, but you can still keep basically your buttons, like whatever you're used to. Yep. The paddles, of course, may I find them and see how they...
Yeah, people love our shifters.
Carbon fiber, of course.
Yep.
They're not too loud. I like
that. Yeah, like in the beginning, I was all into the loud shifters, and everyone was like, I'm waking up the baby, and my wife is getting upset about this, So we made dampers.
No, they feel really good. Sometimes, and also I have to say, I have short hands, I always mention it, and sometimes they're like so far from me.
Yeah.
So they're really well placed.
Yeah, that's another thing too, is like we realized the distance from here to here is very important, and we run around a 32 millimeter distance from the back of the handle to the back of the handle to the paddle. So 32 millimeters is usually the perfect kind of sweet spot for people, because if you go too close, your fingers hit it, and if you're too far away, you can barely reach it.
Yeah, it's not comfortable if it's too far.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like the feeling of it.
Yeah.
It looks really good. It's not too heavy, but you feel it's strong. There is like a nice weight to it.
And the final production actually will be a little bit lighter. Seeing that we use a lot of aluminum, that's always like a challenge, is making it as light as possible. So these sample handles are casted with steel, so they're really heavy. And the new ones, the ones in production, are die cast aluminum core. So
Okay.
so they're designed with like, you know, cutouts in the core of the handle, and then just made the wheel much lighter. Like the base module weighs about 0.7 kilos,
Okay.
and then the front whole thing weighs about I think like 0.67 or something. I'm off a little bit, but the whole thing is 1.4 or 1.5 kilos.
Okay.
And you know, for the round rims, I think it's even lighter. But yeah, you know, we kind of the thing with weight, I think we kind of try to, you know, our first wheels were definitely too heavy. I think like but you know, our experience has kind of helped us along the years, and we try to make the wheels as light as we can without sacrificing quality.
Right.
And our feeling is almost like when you have a wheel that's too light, it becomes too much. So there's a sweet spot that we think it's good. You know, it's like not too heavy, not too light, and you're kind of in that middle zone.
Yeah. No, I think it's a good weight to it. In terms of the actual dimensions of this one, is it
300
as well?
Yeah, that one's 300.
Do you have any smaller ones at all? 280
right.
or 290?
Yeah, like I think we'll probably end up making a 290 version of it. I think 290 is probably the smallest we'll ever go. You know, once you get down to 280, 270, it's really small.
I like the smaller ones.
Yeah. Well, you know, it all depends on your size, you know.
Yeah, maybe.
But
this is nice. It's pretty typical, the 300, but
yeah, I think
it's nice to have the option.
yeah, and I think that, you know, 300 millimeter is kind of the sweet spot for most people. Yeah, the first wheels were huge because, I mean, you look at my hands compared to your hands, it's like,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this feels great. And then, you know, we started selling them and people are like, it's huge. And I'm like, oh. I'm like, maybe my hands are too big. So, no, we're really happy with it. Our customers, they're really dedicated and passionate about sim racing, and that's the part that I love most about it, because a lot of the orders that came in that first day were repeat customers, and that's the part that I love the most. You know, when I see people, you know, on the order list and they have like 6 GSIs, I'm like, wow, you know.
That tells you something.
It's
right?
so nice, yeah. No, and you know what? And the good thing is about the Interlock too is you can get a much smaller rim. You know, like, and you can just bolt it on, and then you can totally be fine.
Yeah, I love the fact that you can change it to whatever.
And it's unique because, you know, most people they never have an LED matrix through the center horn hole, and we were like, how can we make this work? And I'm like looking at all the wheels, and I'm like, every single GT rim has that hole.
Yeah.
You know, so we're like, let's put the LED matrix in there. So it worked out perfectly.
Yeah, that was a great idea. I like that.
Yeah.
Very unique.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks a lot for the time. Thanks for showing me the new product. I think it looks amazing. I can't wait to try it out. You know, in the rig, of course. But yeah, first look at it, very impressive.
Thank you. And it's nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the unit brought to the show was only for looks, so I wasn't able to test it on a rig. The Interlock can be pre-ordered now and is expected to ship in October. Next up, the Simucube Co-Pedal. I was lucky enough to be invited to a private event to take a sneak peek at the pedal the night before its public announcement. After a presentation by the Simucube staff, myself and other creators were given the first chance to test it out. Going into the event, I was crossing my fingers for an active throttle pedal. Like if you took their current passive throttle, which I own, but added a small motor that offers some haptics while keeping the smooth and linear pedal feel that we all want in a throttle. I've said before that the Simucube active pedal really is only optimized as a brake pedal, and Simucube themselves will probably tell you that too. The other thing I was imagining was a dedicated clutch pedal, which is currently missing from the Simucube lineup. But what Simucube is introducing is what they call the Co-Pedal. It's been developed to accompany the active pedal brake, and you have the option to use it either as a clutch or a throttle. By switching out the arc as shown in this demonstration video, you are effectively changing the force curves of the pedal to act more as a clutch where you want that bite point feeling, or a throttle where you want it very linear and smooth. I am glad to see this addition to the lineup since Simucube did not offer a clutch pedal until now. Simucube said they will be discontinuing the current passive throttle, so I think it's pretty clear what they are doing here. They now have one pedal altogether instead of offering different pedals for the throttle and the clutch and having the customer decide what they want to use it at once they receive it. So they're saving on manufacturing and inventory costs. Switching from the throttle to the clutch is simply a matter of switching out the arc, changing the spring and the faceplate if you wish, which is supposed to take a few minutes only. All the necessary tools are included. However, I do hope they'll let customers choose which configuration the pedal ships has when ordering, as I would not be thrilled to have to make the switch myself, especially when it costs $449 plus tax. The Co-Pedal should ship in late 2025. Another product that debuted at the expo was from Italian steering wheel manufacturer Cube Controls. They launched their brand new 295mm Astra steering wheel, which at only 1.1 kilos without the quick release attached, is one of the lightest wheels in its category. It's made of aluminum and features a faceplate, shifters and clutches in full carbon fiber. The grips are an all-new design from Cube Controls and are made of silicone with improved texture from their previous wheels. 10 backlit RGB buttons, 2 toggle switches, 2 rotaries and 2 encoders make up the inputs. The base wheel can be had for €399, but for €50 more you can get the premium version, which upgrades the 7-way switches and thumb encoders to aluminum, makes the push buttons tinted and includes the hub. The Astra will begin shipping in October. So those were the 5 big new products at the expo, but my coverage won't stop there. Subscribe and hit the notification bell and watch for my next videos featuring an in-depth look at SimLab's upcoming wheelbase, more industry interviews, and my review of all the motion rigs I could get my hands on. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.